I'm Lieutenant Williams, a police officer attached to the Juvenile Division. I'm on my way to Monroe Junior High School to talk to a group of young people. But sometimes there are dangers involved that never meet the eye. Let's take the case of Jimmy Barnes. Jimmy played baseball all afternoon and he didn't feel like walking home, so he decided to thumb a ride. When Jimmy got out, the stranger gave him a friendly pat. Then he told him he'd see him again, as he always drove by the park on his way home. The following Saturday, they went fishing together. By now, they were using first names. Ralph said it was more friendly. Jimmy hadn't enjoyed himself so much in a long time. Then during lunch, Ralph showed him some pornographic pictures. Jimmy knew he shouldn't be interested, but, well, he was curious. What Jimmy didn't know was that Ralph was sick, a sickness that was not visible like smallpox, but no less dangerous and contagious, a sickness of the mind. You see, Ralph was a homosexual, a person who demands an intimate relationship with members of their own sex.
In the last 20 to 21 years, I've seen a lot of change in regard to the attitudes of students and staff regarding gay, lesbian, transgender issues. My heart swells with pride when I think about Pat and the struggles that he's faced and some of the unkind remarks that he's endured from people.
I believe grade 7 in my intermediate school, my best friend, he wouldn't want anything to do with me. He told people to not tell me where he lived. He told people that I was that gay kid. I wasn't his best friend anymore. He completely left me. And I had a giant void in myself for having a best friend. And that's all because people saying that I was gay and I was a fag, even though I didn't even know I was.
My stepsister is closeted lesbian, and she is so afraid to tell our stepmom. And I grew up with that, and she would tell me every day that I can't tell her. She'll hit me, she'll hate me. And growing up with somebody who's that afraid because their own mother is bullying them, I just couldn't live that way. And of course I wouldn't tell my stepmom, hey, your daughter is gay, because that's her choice to keep it inside. But every day I'd tell Kristen that you are who you are, you can't change it, you have to embrace it, and you have to tell mom. And growing up like that, you realize how absolutely scared people are and how much hate there really is in the world. And I wanted to stop it as soon as it started, but it's a bit harder than it seems, but I'm gonna try.
We have a lot of kids who support their friends who have come out to their parents or are trying to come out to their parents, and so these lesbian, gay, transgendered, bisexual students rely a lot on their allies. GSA is also a group of kids that are trying to create change within the school.
like if you're associating with like a gay person, they just automatically think you're gay?
Yeah.
Or like being like the leader of that, do you feel like people kind of think, oh, she must be lesbian
okay,
then. You can't be straight and be friends with them.
Exactly. I went to Ottawa a couple weeks ago, and I told someone, I was like, yeah, I'm the leader of the Gay Straight Alliance at my school, and they're like, oh, are you gay? I'm like, no, you do not have to be gay. I'm the leader of it, and I'm not gay.
You're the leader of the GSA?
I'm the leader of the GSA.
Okay, well, why haven't we not heard anything about it? Like, you're
There's
like the
been
leader.
announcements and everything. I guess homophobia and gay bullying.
Outside of this room, it's scary. I've had worse than just names called to me. I've been physically abused because of it, because there's probably many more students in this school that are in the closet and they don't want to come out, and they should be able to. They should feel safe enough to come out to their peers.
Our district has been extremely supportive in helping, or giving us the venue and allowing us to have these meetings.
May the 29th, me and Katelyn, Roberts, and Taylor are going to be going to the school board to talk to them about getting a anti-discrimination policy against LGBTQ youth.
I'm seeing if there's any problems. Please and thank you. Or you just want to talk.
The policy we have at our school right now is way too vague. It's only like you cannot discriminate against the faculty and the students of the school, and that's way too vague. We need one that's bigger and puts everybody under the umbrella.
Yeah, it doesn't include, but it doesn't exclude anybody. Go on in.
When I was in the public school system, that was the late 70s, early 80s, there was no question. You didn't talk about being gay. It was one of these things that if you talked about it, you drew attention to yourself. So you tried to do anything you could to stay away from that, because it went hand in hand with being bullied.
Even if you aren't gay or any of that, you can still relate to them because they sort of went through troubles that other people have been through, because like everyone's been bullied. It's like not a new thing, so yeah.
Julie and Metica are two girls in a relationship, by the way. Anyway.
Yeah, they're like the first like openly lesbian relationship.
Where it's like both the couples are in the school.
Yeah.
Just having conversations, it's freeing, it's healing for people, and discuss issues with compassion and try to come from a place of understanding.
Like, I knew Julie in grade 6, like we were in the same grade 6 class, and I'd be willing to interview them, and I'm not just saying that because they're a lesbian couple, but
yeah, I think they'd be comfortable around you, and then like it's also nice to have like a male there kind of thing, like I don't know, but he's not like super masculine male. You're like friendly. You're friendly. I don't know.
Just not.
You're masculine.
He's just not intimidating.
Whatever.
Yeah, he's not intimidating. Exactly. You're not intimidating.
They're both fine with words.
I know what I understand. I'm just gonna go for it. In terms of sexual activity, how does it really work between you guys?
Like dildos? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're not really legal to buy them, but not that we have one. But we would.
We would use one, but we don't have one.
Yeah.
I think it's okay for students to not understand or to be confused and to have questions. And I think that the best way to deal with that is to ask questions and find out what is it like for, our gay students and our lesbian students.
Ever since you guys came out, do you find that any of your other friendships have been kind of jeopardized?
Well, I had this one friend, and she knew I was gay, and she was like, oh, does that mean if you come over, you're gonna like me? Are you gonna do anything with me? Are you gonna rape me? It's like, no. Just because I'm gay doesn't mean I like every girl. It's like if you're straight, it doesn't mean you like every guy.
So Leo is a
dude.
transgendered grade 8.
Excuse me.
So it's a boy who used to be a girl. Yeah, and he came out like a month ago.
Really?
It was like to the school. Yeah, to the school.
In the 20 years that I've been here, there have been several, mostly lesbian students who have been open at school. And this is the first year we've had a transgendered student. And was I apprehensive when I knew this student was coming out? You bet I was.
Apparently they got phone calls being like, what the hell? Why is this person going to this school? Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, you're gonna stop someone from going to school?
I kind of had to look where I stepped when it came to him, you know, because it just kind of happened, because I never really paid much attention to him. But now that he's sort of come out and stuff like that, and he's still himself, I kind of admire that.
Formerly Sapphire, but then she is like, wants to be a boy, and
Sapphire is Leo now.
Yeah. So now Sapphire is Leo.
Yeah, she's in grade 8.
Yeah, she's
yeah.
Yeah,
He's in grade 8.
Or sorry.
They're in grade 8.
She's in my English class, English 8 class. It's alright. He's in my English 8 class. And you know what? That has not happened to me in class.
Isabella, who's like Leo's cousin, she was talking about how like people will say things about Leo but not to his face. And Isabella always stands up for Leo and tells people she's gonna fight them. It's hilarious, but yeah.
So when they say transition, it's just, he basically just changed clothes and changed his persona, looks, everything, because that's who he wants to be. So that's basically pretty much it. And if he wants to have that surgery done, then that's his decision.
The students of Hope Secondary, they've been educated around the transgender issues prior to Leo disclosing that that he was no longer Sapphire.
Like, I felt weird that they made an announcement. They came into all the schools and they said like, or they came into all the classrooms, sorry, and they said, we have a student that's transitioning, and it was just like, okay. But it was like, why do we have to know this? Like, this is such a personal thing for him. Like, I guess maybe the name change, I didn't.
Yeah. And they kind of get worried for no reason. If you just flat out said, this is Leo, no explanation needed, this is Leo.
I just feel so weird about it. Like, I don't care that Leo is Leo at all. I care that we had to make such a big deal because he's Leo and not Sapphire.
Her family, his family, was very proactive and, you know, came in to talk to us. And because they knew what Leo was feeling and what was right for him in his heart of hearts, they did their research, they came in to talk, they did everything that they could to empower Leo.
And Leo's also the son of my heart. I don't have a son, but if I were, Leo would be it.
Hi.
Ignorance is what breeds this fear, and that's where bullying comes from. So I mean, I think everybody's faced it at one point in time or another. But again, we should be evolving and moving beyond that. You'd think.
My dad's homophobic, like insanely, and all the times like gay bashing. I'm just kind of sitting there, kind of like, shut up.
My dad, he just wants that perfect son that's gonna get that girlfriend, or I believe that's what he would want.
My mom is really supportive. Actually, she sticks up for me a lot and just supports me, and she's happy as long as I'm happy. So.
Both my parents know about it. My dad doesn't really mind, and my mom just thinks I'll get over it someday.
Leo's side of the family knows, our side of the family knows that Leo is now Leo. On our side, everybody's accepting. It's not a big thing. It's like, okay, whatever. Unfortunately, on Leo's side, not everyone is, and that is the sad truth.
I know that we have students whose parents are not pleased that we are being so accepting about having especially a transgendered student in our school. And I don't have an answer for that because I'm puzzled by that.
Thursday, it's the May 17th, it's Anti-Homophobia Day, and we're doing like a pride flag design kind of thing in the hallway.
This is a day to kind of take away from the negative connotations of that's so gay, to take away from the word fag, to kind of empower our young people to stand up and be allies against homophobic bullying. It's actually an international day.
We have openly LGBTQ students here, and it's just supposed to help promote a safer environment.
I think change right away is hard to see, but over time, hopefully we will be getting rid of the name calling, and not only the name calling, it's the people that allow the name calling, you know, the teachers that just turn away and go, oh, well, that's not really a bad word, or, well, that's not really making fun of them. But it is, and we can't be ignoring it, and the policy will bring it into light and say that we're not going to tolerate it, and people need to get punished if they're going to be doing it.
What happens if you actually just decide, screw the policy, I'm going to do it anyway?
It's meant to be there for more support, because we've clearly seen that there's just not enough. So, does that answer your question?
It's a fairly big task, and it's a chance of it working, but we want to take that chance because we want to see how far we can go with it.
The students are getting ready to do their presentation tomorrow at the board office, so I was going over their PowerPoint with them and just running through some questions that they had and seeing how nervous they are for tomorrow. Patrick's nervous.
A little bit.
But it looks great. They did a really good job, and I'm confident that it's going to go well. So you don't have to dress, just dress like you.
Or no,
Oh, really?
I'm dressing up.
Just
I'm
like
gonna
me.
wear like a ballroom and stuff. Okay.
Ballroom gown.
And
Where are your
again,
prom
you
dress?
can print off your packages. You can read off them. You don't have to have it memorized. Okay. All right.
Louis C.K. said that I got it to credit.
How did the policy presentation go?
Like it went really swimmingly. That's how I'm gonna describe it.
Swimmingly?
Swimmingly. Like it was just really smooth and really nice and like.
Except.
Well, that's what I'm getting to.
Highlights in Hope Secondary School. Rosalee, Floyd, principal.
Hi.
Welcome.
The green one?
My name is Katelyn Roberts. I'm in grade 11. This is Taylor Smith from grade 12. She's graduating this year. And Patrick Desari, who's also in grade 11. And we are all in the GSA, and we all consider ourselves allies of the LGBTQ community.
LGBTQ standing for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered, or two-spirited, and questioning.
A lot of the LGBTQ students in our school find that they are often excluded, and so we're there to help make them feel included, and yeah, just a support system, really. That's what we are. We're all allies.
We suggest a zero-tolerance approach pertaining to the Code of Conduct. We believe students who harass others because of their gender, identity, and expression should face suspension and mandatory education on the issues of LGBTQ. I have friends that have been physically harassed and threatened with things that would not be appropriate to say to anyone in any circumstance, based purely on uncertainty to their sexuality. They've come out of the closet, then gone right back in because of homophobia. I'm personally afraid to come out because of these examples. And that was an HSS student in our school.
So it was like really well, and then like Pat even started like tearing up and crying, and that was kind of sad.
I came out as being homosexual about a year or two ago, and my one big problem was I was completely afraid of coming out to my parents. I was scared that they were gonna not want me in my house anymore, and so I had my sister talk with me with my parents across the table so that we could learn that I am homosexual.
I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
All right, just to reiterate, we're not asking for a policy tomorrow. We know it's not going to happen. We just would really like to set up an LGBTQ community and develop a specific and discrete policy to protect our LGBTQ students.
Basically, we finished the presentation and it went well, and then we're like, do you guys have any questions? And then there was like 3 or 4 people, and they were like, yeah, it was really good, like we're super happy you guys came out, like we love hearing from kids. And then this one guy,
well, of course, I don't want to be the sand in the gears.
the woman next to him is like, oh yes you do, because like he's like this old guy, and like I don't even know his name. I don't remember his name. I don't even want to know him.
You go to this group, next month it might be another group, and then we'll be continuously making policies. I suggest we have a policy that covers everybody.
We want to make sure that LGBTQ students are feeling safer in our school.
Well, this can go back and forth all night.
Yeah.
I agree. Maybe we should make the odd amendment here or there. But there's other people with other issues that figure they're discriminated.
These LGBTQ students, they do not feel safe enough with the current policies. We want a discrete policy that will truly protect them, and one of the main components of it would be education.
Okay. Thank you.
And I was like, okay, any other questions? And then everyone else was like super happy.
We try to get the student voice as much as possible with the various committees and whatnot that we have. And sometimes it can be difficult. But this is very exciting, and I do hope that you do take a good role in this as we go forward down this. And thank you very much again.
Thank you.
He's Patrick, the one that we gave birth to, so he hasn't changed any, just because of his sexual orientation.
I'll be honest, it took me a little bit to get used to, but I'm fine with it, and I have no issues with it whatsoever. I think it's great.
I think it was all good except for the one person seemed a little against it, but everybody else seemed very open to it. I think it went well. Yeah, I think the 3 of them did a great job.
All we can hope for is that they agree with the policy and agree with trying to make another policy for it. Or even if they just amend the policy that they have right now, that's just a big accomplishment for us.
We'll do everything it takes because these kids are worth it. Patrick's worth it. All my friends are worth it.
I'll get us all. Katelyn would still win. Yeah.
We have a long way to go. I still have kids that don't feel safe here. I have kids that have come here and left Hope Secondary because they didn't feel safe or supported. You know, I have kids that wish we taught, you know, when we do the sexual education unit, why aren't we incorporating same-sex couples into that?
Finally, Jimmy told his parents, and they reported it to the juvenile authorities. Ralph was arrested, and Jimmy was released on probation in the custody of his parents. One never knows when the homosexual is about. He may appear normal, and it may be too late when you discover he is mentally ill.
Just a normal person. Just like you and you and